What's going on, Deep Dive Spear crew? Brock here, working today on the 1973 222 Aquasport again. It's cold outside, so I'm getting a little barn time today. My goal today is to work on the transom and get it prepped to laminate. So I'm going to cut this chop strand off, round this over, sand this, get all the edges, sand the bottom along the bottom of the Kusa. Basically just get everything sand down, cleaned up, and ready for laminating with 1708. And so here we go.
So what I'm doing is taking the stick and resin and I'm going to fill the gaps. I'm going to put it right there. I'm going to make a nice smooth transition. Smooth transition right here.
Crew, I got that buttered up, peanut buttered up. Folks in the biz call that peanut butter, just thickened poly or thickened epoxy, so that those radius will lay down nicely. Let's take a look at them. All the way down around the edge. On to the next step. All right, it's another day, same video, just another day. I'm up here working. Plan today is to rough up all of this thickened poly that I put on here, rough this up, get it cleaned up, and then go ahead and take my rolls of chop strand and 1708, use my template that I made, lay that out on the ground, and cut out 6 or 7 layers of chop strand and 1708, and with each layer I'll progressively get a little bit wider, an inch wider, so that as my tabbing lays down, my first layer will be right. My first layer will match up with the Kusa right edge against the transom. My next layer will be right here. My next layer will come out to here. My next layer will come out to here. My final layer will come out right to here. So I'll have all this layered and tabbed in. 6 or 7 layers, and I'll come all the way up to right here. I might even wrap the last 2 layers over this lip right here to try to sturdy that up right there. All right, here we go. tape and wrap these up and then mark on there what layer I'm doing. So I laid my last piece, which will be my final layer out. It's a little bit big, and so what I'm going to do, you can see I traced some line on that side where I'm going to cut that extra off. I folded it over the top, and I'll come back and trim along this edge. And so that way I know my last layer will give me as much coverage as I can get on my transom. You ever put your tools where you can't find them and you just used them? That's aggravating. They blend in like a rattlesnake in the fall leaves. Bingo. These scraps and use them on the boat. For example, some of these scraps right here, I have to finish building this up where the outdrive was, and so I'll use some of these scraps to build a patchwork and build that on out so that I can smooth this out and slick it up. Nothing's going to waste. I've got all my layers cut out and set on the side of the boat. I've got 1.5 gallons of resin and my hardener ready, and so I'm going to start this process. Start with layer 1. I'm not going to bore you with all these layers, but I might bring back in whenever I'm getting close to my final layer. Here we go. So the first thing I do is hot coat my Kusa and make sure I fill in all the pores before I put this layer of chop strand on. Once I get it fitted like that, then I'll start putting the resin on it and working it out.